All right, let's talk about Mr. Krabs. Yeah, that Mr. Krabs. Today, we're going to put one of the most famous entrepreneurs in cartoon history under the microscope because we're going to look at one single, really shocking moment. A moment that I think reveals the dark truth hiding just beneath the surface. Now, I know what you're thinking. You probably remember this scene as just a quick throwaway gag, right? A bit of slapstick. But what if it was something more? We're going to make the case that this moment wasn't just a joke. It was everything. It was a profound, deeply personal act of betrayal. So, what did really happen in that moment? And more importantly, what does it reveal about the crab himself? That's what we're here to do. We're going to peel back the layers, get into the psychology of it all, and figure out what this tells us about a, let's be honest, very troubled father-daughter relationship. Okay, so let's set the scene. The event at the absolute heart of this whole case study is, well, we're calling it the incident. It's that moment where, driven by his obsession with money, Mr. Krabs makes a decision that just crosses a line. I mean, a moral event horizon. He willingly puts his own daughter Pearl inside a freezer. Now, to really get why this act is so shocking, we have to understand the mind of the crab who did it. Let's get into his head. When you look at his psychological profile, it's pretty clear. It's like a perfect storm of really toxic traits. We're talking about a level of greed that isn't just a funny character quirk. No, it's his entire operating system. And when you pair that with an almost complete lack of empathy and a survival instinct that always puts money first, well, you see how family can get left behind. You know, there's actually a clinical term for this kind of thing: monomania. It basically means an obsession, an excessive concentration on one single thing. And for Mr. Krabs, that one thing is, of course, money. Every single decision he makes, every relationship he has, it's all filtered through this one all-consuming lens. This goes way beyond just being cheap. It's his fundamental worldview. Okay, so we've got a handle on his psychology, right? Now let's look at the betrayal itself. We're going to break it down moment by moment, agonizing moment. So, how does it all go down? Well, it starts the way it always does with him. There's a threat to his money. Then, things escalate. And this is the scary part. He makes this chillingly quick calculation, literally weighing his own daughter against his profits. The act itself, it's fast, it's decisive. But what really gets me is the resolution, or, the lack of one. It just shows he has absolutely no idea what he's just done. And this, right here, this is the absolute core of the problem. Think about it. A father's duty is to protect, to nurture. What does Krabs do? He endangers and exploits. Where there should be unconditional love, he only offers conditional value. You're valuable if you don't cost me money. And instead of emotional support, forget it. All you get is a cold, hard financial calculation. And look, in all of this, we absolutely cannot forget the victim here, Pearl. For her, this wasn't just about being cold for a minute. This was a deep, profound emotional wound. This was the moment her own father showed her in the clearest way possible that she would always come second to his wallet. But this wasn't just some one-off thing, was it? This moment left behind a truly chilling legacy. You could argue it created a permanent fracture in their relationship. So why does this one moment stick with us? Why do we all remember it so clearly? I think it's because it was never really just a gag. It's one of those moments that cuts right through the comedy and shows you the true, dark depth of a character's flaws. It's the ultimate violation of trust you can have, the one between a parent and a child. And it's a stark reminder of the real cost of greed. When you think about it, the freezer becomes this really powerful metaphor, doesn't it? In that cold, dark place, the warmth of their father-daughter bond was, well, it was literally put on ice. Maybe forever. A relationship just shattered, all for the sake of a few bucks. And all of this leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Mr. Krabs probably told himself what he did was just pragmatic, a tough choice he had to make for the business, right? But it really makes you wonder, how thin is that line between being pragmatic and just being morally bankrupt? At what point does chasing money and security end up costing us the one thing that really matters? Our humanity?